Boy, y'all are interested in why I had a gun pulled on me. Well, I can tell you why. I was in a New Jersey car, parked along the road, looking at maps that were given to me, and of wheat fields, obviously, because that's what my job was going to be, to bale wheat straw. And at that time, that was right when George Floyd had been uh, removed from existence, let's put it that way. Now, I don't think George Floyd should have died the way he did, but the world is a better place without him. Okay? That's just my opinion. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. Well, no, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry if you don't like it. It's my opinion. Go fuck yourself. But anyway, so what was going on in that area was that there was a lot of organized rioting. They were busing people in from other areas to go terrorize the local towns and cities in North Carolina. And that very night, there was a riot. They had brought them in on buses. They had dropped them off, and they were tearing up the town. Didn't do a terrible job. You know, they didn't really burn too much, but they flipped some cars and did some stupid stuff. So what happened was that this individual here, he is in the comment section. I'm not going to use his name because just there's some people out there that are, you know, just for privacy. You know, he'll comment, you'll see it. It's fine, and you can read it, but I'm not going to use his name. Funny guy, too. Funny situation. So, anyways, I'm there looking at these maps with Teresa's blue car with New Jersey plates, and he thought that I was organizing a riot to burn farms because I was right out in front of, or just down the road from his home farm. And that very day, or maybe a couple of days prior to that, there was a news report that came out that the BLM and these other idiots that are out tearing up towns were going to go into the country and burn down farms. Unfortunately for the BLM and all these other freaking morons that think that they're going to burn down a farmer's establishment, we don't give a fuck about your life. We don't mind feeding you. But if you come to our place of business or our homes and you think that you're just going to, round up a bunch of dumb mouth breathing farmers, you're in for a rude awakening. We will shoot you. We will shoot you. I have no problem capping somebody in the ass, if that's what you want to say. If those are terms that you folks can understand that want to come out and burn a farm down or break into my home. I live in a state where you're not allowed to shoot somebody if they come into your house, but I don't fucking care. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. And I honestly believe that this individual felt that way when he pulled his .45. Now, he didn't point it at me. He just had it in his lap, asked who I was, and then he looked at me and was like, I know who you are. And I thought it was kind of funny. And then he had the gun, and I don't know, I think he had a magnetic holster there, but it was in the truck. And I said, you pull a gun on me? He's like, well, hell yeah. I'm like, okay. Well, I had one too, because when you're down there and there's that kind of turmoil going on, I had to fear for the safety of my guys. And I had a gun in every tractor, and I told these guys, I said, look, if this crowd comes at you, run them over first. Literally run them over. We don't care about your stupid black life if you're going to hurt us, I don't give a shit what color you are. If you're going to hurt me, I told my guys and my wife to run you over because you're stupid. Terrorizing towns, burning down buildings, terrorizing farms and other things like that, that will get you a one-way ticket to an early grave. Just like George Floyd. He was a fucking moron. If you don't believe that George Floyd was a fucking moron, go watch the video. The officer that was convicted, it will be overturned. George Floyd followed zero instruction. He fought them the whole way. I don't think that he should have died the way he did. He had a one-way ticket to hell anyway, and he was well on his way with the amount of fentanyl and methamphetamine that he had taken. Quite honestly, did he die from the guy kneeling on his neck, or did he die from the fentanyl and methamphetamine? I don't know. I'm not a doctor, and nor did I do the autopsies, but I don't know. But I can tell you this: the type of drugs that he was on, he was going to die. Maybe not that day, but he was going to die. That is just, man, did I really screw this up or what? I look like I was drunk when I shaved this morning. Anyway, with that being said, enjoy this raking video. He did not shoot me. I did not show him my gun. But he was like, man, I bet you got one too. I was like, I might, but it was kind of funny. Anyways, good guy, good family, good people to work for as well. If you don't, and that's the other ignorance of these people that are out there burning down businesses and threatening to burn down farms and stuff. They really don't know what they're getting into. I mean, if you come to my place, you may find out that you're not going to be happy when you attempt to break in. Not when you attempt to leave. I'm not going to shoot anybody in the back. But if you attempt to break into my home or into the farm or whatever there is, you're not going to be happy. I guarantee you. You are going to be met with a force that you may not be expecting. And that's probably every farm. Every farm has that. So, yeah, just a little PSA. So anyways, enjoy this not corn video, hay rake video. I think that's what it is. Look at the beautiful corn. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna make a hay rake video. I'm not actually gonna make a corn video. Maybe I can make a corn video. That is not tobacco, that's pokeberry. Got a whole menagerie of different weeds that would be growing in this field if I didn't spray a herbicide down, or if it didn't canopy. There is velvet leaf, there's Jimson weed, there's foxtail, there's ragweed. Oh, there's even smartweed. What else do we have out here? Yeah, there's smartweed. That is mustard. That guy right there. And what else do we have? There's got to be something else out here. Oh, wild carrot. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever had that before. I don't know where that would have came from. That is from deer. Okay, so this is what deer do. What them bastards will do is they'll come along here and they will grab it. They actually ate quite a bit of it. You can see the deer tracks there. They actually pulled that ear off, and then that ear off, and that ear off. But if you get on down into the jungle, and that's what this is a jungle. These ears are actually high enough. These are about, to my neck, these ears here. Still pulling double ears, kind of annoys me. I will not be going any thicker in the plant population because there's a lot of these spindly ones that are going to get shaded out. These will produce nothing. They will only take away from the ones next to it. So next year I'm probably going to actually drop my population down back to where it was previously. Back down to, I wonder what happened here. Oh, what happened here? Doesn't matter. It makes a nice opening. So I'll probably just be dropping that population back down to 35,000. Might even go a little bit lower. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm at that phase, like, I got a double there. Boy, that shit pisses me off. That's double planted there. So that's a wall of corn. It's going to produce, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm going to have pretty damn nice corn. And the reason this is doubled up is because, I don't know, there's too many rows. The GPS did that actually, and I don't have row shut-offs. We don't have the row shut-offs. Oh yeah, ma. Anyway, I'm actually going to talk about hay rakes, okay? So, somebody posted, and I may have said this, I don't know what I said, but I'm pretty sure the essence of it was, I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you as to why I use H&S action rakes. This action rake is a little bit more of an expensive action rake, which it's a little bit longer. It's a little bit, I believe it's a little bit wider. It is still a 12-wheel rake, but it has the individual arms. And I showed this before. And there's a fella that came on and he was like, I don't know why you buy those junk. You ought to buy this. You ought to buy that. Well, maybe in their operation or their understanding of their operation, these would not work for them. Okay, so I do an extraordinarily large number of acres of hay. By the time it's all said and done, I do over 5,000 acres of hay between first and second cut. So 5,000 acres of hay spread out over the course of 2 to 3 different rakes is still 2,500 acres each rake. Approximately 20. I use generally 2 rakes, so about 2,500 acres. I hear a boom. I don't know what that was. 2,500 acres per rake, which is probably the life expectancy of the 2112 action rake. This one here is a little bit better built, so it would probably last twice as long. So what I'm doing is I'm putting a lifetime of use onto one of these rakes in a year. A lifetime of use in 1 year. This rake here, not a super expensive rake. A lot of guys are like, well, why don't you buy a rotary rake? Well, I won't buy a rotary rake. There's too many moving parts. They're too expensive to maintain, and the type of material that I'm raking doesn't justify the purchase price of a rotary rake. Now, I can buy one rotary rake for the price of 4 of this particular model, this 3112, in the size that I would need. And therefore, I could break this rake and go pick up another brand new rake and go use that rake until that one broke and fix this one somewheres on a rainy day or whatnot. I could buy literally 4 of these rakes, and if I needed to rake that much material, I hook 4 tractors up to 4 different rakes, and I rake approximately 4 times 3. 4 times 30, so you got 30, 60, 120 feet of material all at once. You're not going to get that out of a rotary rake. These wheels, cheap enough to buy. They're 120 bucks for a 60-inch wheel. 8mm teeth on those. They last a long time. This is my first year for this rake, and I have great expectations of it. I expect that it will work very flawlessly throughout this year and most of next year. That is my plan with this rake. I don't care if it breaks. I really don't care if it breaks. If I break something, the parts are easily available, readily available, and I know that a lot of guys are like, oh, well, if you bought this type of a rake, then you would have, you would be faster. You're not going to be faster than this. I have small fields. I don't have large fields. The largest field I have is 50 acres, and I only have 2 of those. And the majority of my fields are 8 to 10 acre fields, 6, 7, 8, 10 acre fields. These small rakes, these smaller rakes, can get into the corners in an over sharp corner, and it's easier to go down and turn around and come back with one of these than it is with, say, a 16-wheel H&S high capacity rake, which, you know, hey, I'm all for H&S high capacity rake in the larger fields. They work just fine. Am I going to put 3 windrows together? No, I'm not. They just don't. 30, 60, you're looking at 15, 30, 45 feet of hay into 3 windrows. The bottom one will never get raked, or the center one won't get raked in those larger windrows. And the baler, the tractor won't get over it. It just won't get over that material enough to, it just won't get over it. I'd be dragging mud flaps trying to choke that material through the baler. So the size of these rakes is perfect for me, and they work really well. So I thought that I was pretty clear in why I use these rakes. The worst thing about this rake, and I don't like it on the other rakes, and I'm not going to like it on this rake, is that action part of this action rake. There is a hydraulic cylinder underneath here. Right here. See that little fat bastard under there? And what that does is when you come, and I like what it does, but I don't like what it does to the rake. It bends this portion here. Now they've thickened it up. Don't get me wrong, they've thickened that up, and they've added a brace in the back to try and alleviate some of the bending problem. But the problem is, it's just a piece of channel that they hooked in here and here, and I fear that it's going to bend here anyway. So what I'm going to do is actually cut the end of that off and drive a piece in there and plug weld in the back all the way from there to there. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I think that this rake is a much better designed rake over the one that I'm gonna show you right now. This is the rake that I've been using now for, I think I've been using this for about 5 or 6 years now. I've been using these for quite a while. I know there was some complaints about me using these piece of shit rakes, as they call them, and there's some complaints about the rake. I mean, there's always going to be a problem. I did end up repairing this rake. This rake I never did put a piece of steel through. I built this subframe onto the back, which alleviated a lot of the problems, plus I added this guy here and here, and I don't have the issues that I had before. Did have some breakouts here, but this rake has been over tens of thousands of acres. Believe it or not, it has been. The worst part about these rakes is this knuckle right here. This guy right here and this guy right here. These break. And the second worst thing are these tubes. They break. Okay? The reason they break is because this tube has the stress of 2 wheels on it versus that one where the pipes are thicker and they only have the stress of 1 wheel. And it constantly just works on there, and they usually break out the seam in the pipe. This new rake arm has a thicker pipe than the original one had, and it's gusseted in different places. So they are addressing their problems and repairing it and making it better. The one thing that we did notice here, and we added this plastic piece to it yesterday, was that I was greasing this all the time, and that rake over there actually has a plastic piece bolted to the face, but it doesn't have these springs. The springs are obviously in the arms, which I like that design better. But yeah, so this rake, like I said, has been over tens of thousands of acres. It will go back to work this year, and it will do another 2,500 acres. It will. This one and the other one. We're looking, if this one here goes to the field and stays in the field the whole season long, which it won't, but let's just say it does 1,500 acres. That's half of its life expectancy before it starts to break. Okay? Actually, a little more than half of its life expectancy before it starts to break. These rakes are designed to do in their lifetime before they start to break down 2,000 acres. It's just the way it is. That's what the engineers design them for, and that's what you get out of them. That's exactly what you get out of them. Not one more, not one less. So when you recognize those issues, you learn how to deal with them. And that's exactly what I have done, is learned how to deal with the issues with these styles of rakes. The little bit of time that it takes to put these back together and the little bit of money that it takes to maintain them is far less than it would be if I was to go out and buy a great big rotary style, whether it's a Krone, a Kuhn, a Rose, New Holland, which I think is made by another company. It doesn't even matter. The economical use of these particular rakes far outweighs the benefits of the other ones in my business. Now, you can say what you want, and you can trash me all you want. It's okay. I am the guy that's putting himself out here. I am the guy with the experience with them. And if you're in Europe and you say, hey, we let those go years ago because they were outdated, if you're using rotary rakes to rake up silage for in front of a chopper, you have wasted a shit ton of money. Now, maybe for you guys over there in Europe, they can handle the heavier, wet material better than a wheel rake, which, in my opinion, you're probably right. Those things are amazing. They scoop the material up and they set it in the middle, and they're right there ready to go to the chopper. If you're worried about raking, just go buy a Big M. They have mergers on them. And honestly, if I was doing silage, I wouldn't even mess with a rake. I would go get an Oxbow hay merger. And, for $120,000, you can take 3 of those great big ass windrows, put them to the center, turn around and put 3 more in the center of that, or spit them out both sides and just go that way, because you're just feeding a chopper. Rakes are obsolete, in my opinion, there in that application. So I'm just out here trying to make a living and doing the best that I can do for me and my family and the business. This is the most economical way of doing what I do. And these things even rake corn stalks. I mean, I can go out there and shred this corn stalks after I'm all done taking the corn off, shred them, and then rake them with one of these things, and it sweeps the field clean. Clean as a whistle. They do. It just works. And there's Grant. Hey Grant, I need new knives in that thing. And there should be brand new knives there someplace. Now, the one you're messing with, I'd say the John Deere. I got ones for the John Deere. On that right side, the second one, I think they're even flipped upside down. If I have to go get new knives, I'll go, but anyway. What do you mean alternate? Yeah, of course. One's right, one's left.
Oh, I mean like every other one, or like somewhere.
It's not a John Deere. Look.
Yeah,
look.
no, this is backwards.
Polished?
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
it's backwards. That's what my problem is. It's forcing the material down.
Yeah.
It made a stripe, that's all.
Okay, yeah.
You see how it wound it up there?
Yeah.
So, that has to be done.
I'll get the left.
This thing actually ran really, really good yesterday. You know.
The other day it seemed a little hard to start though. It was weird.
Well, you just put new fuel filters on.
Oh, yeah.
So, yep. So anyway, yeah, you can pull it up there. I think I have brand new boxes of those things. But, oh, anybody want tires for goats? Tires for goats, everybody. Goat tires, right?
Yeah.
You bury them halfway and then the goat climbs up the tread. So if you know anybody with goats, I got tires. Right? There you go. Gotta get rid of these things. They're like a fucking disease or a breeding program for used tires in this place. I got two more. This tractor bred really well. And look at this. I've got two worn out front tires on the front of this tractor. So they have to be replaced. Yeah. I was going to take these off and put them on that mower over there, but I don't think my rim is, I don't think it would work. I could probably have the rim stretched though. See, that's a 28 inch. 665/28 would probably work perfect on that tractor, on that mower. But I don't know if I could get those on there, if I could squeeze them in. I'll try though. I do have to buy new ones. So anyway, this video is long enough. Have a nice day. I'll get on to something different.